Let's bring Diane Cross back upstage to learn a little bit more about the history of Fraser Mental Health.
Okay, so you probably all noticed I located myself closer to the stage this time. That was really
No
good.
long walk. Nobody
No
wants
long
that.
walk.
Right.
So Jason, the last time we were here, I told all of us a little bit about Fraser and the history and the remarkable woman that started Fraser and how she really did it on a shoestring. And she started with really nothing, mortgaged her home and gave up everything she had to make sure that children weren't institutionalized.
In many ways, it's the perfect American story, right? It's one woman who said, let's make a difference. And now, look, I mean, holy cow. Like, she would lose her mind over this today, don't you think? She was a pioneer. She really was a pioneer for people with special needs. And at the time, she didn't even know what to call it. Right?
Yeah, and think about this. It was during the Great Depression. She had lost her husband in the line of duty. She'd lost 2 other children through illness and an accident. And she stood alone and said, I am going to face whatever it takes to make sure that children are not placed in institutions. I believe in them. And when I look at that, you know, I'm truly inspired. And I'm inspired by the fact that all of you support her vision and continue the support that we have today so that we can do the work that she thought about.
She knew there was a gap. She knew that what the state was doing at that time, I mean, certainly it was nothing like kind of what we see today. And she knew that we needed to take care of children and mental health. And I think today when we look at what we're talking about almost 1 in 5 children. I mean, just take a moment and think about that. I mean, how many of us in this room have children? And you think 1 in 5 children affected by mental illness, by mental health issues, every year. I mean, that's just an amazing number to hear.
And so I apologize if you feel like you're an emotional roller coaster, because we started out with this great, you know, live auction where everyone's excited, and now we're going to get really serious. So tonight is about reflecting on our past and looking ahead to our future. And Fraser continues to serve individuals with over 60 different disabilities and disorders, including individuals with Down syndrome and autism. Yeah. These past 15 years, we've grown in remarkable ways and expanded our services in the areas of healthcare, housing, and education. Yet at our core, Fraser remains the same. It is still Louise Fraser's passion that drives what we do. And it is still that loving care that makes Fraser the first choice for many families. And like Mrs. Fraser, we identified a gap in services in the state, and we are working hard to fill that gap. And as Jason mentioned, it's in the area of mental health.
It's inspiring, don't you think? You look around and you see children all around our state, and there are some people who live here in the Twin Cities, there are some who live farther away, and you're just trying to make sure that people have all of these different things, whether it's post-traumatic stress disorder, ADHD, mood disorders, all these things, that they have somewhere to go to get help.
And we serve so many disabilities and disorders. And we also provide services to help the parents build their own skills so that they can help their child when they are not at Fraser.
Yeah. Gosh, in some ways you think it's the parent, the outreach you do to the parent that maybe makes more of a difference, at least in the short term, than the child.
Well, when you think about it, they're with us, you know, for a part of the day, but they're with their parents a lot of the day. So if we can teach them those skills, that will make a huge difference.
Well, and you think, I mean, I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and if I were in a situation where I needed the help of Fraser, I would be, I mean, on the surface, you'd say I'm concerned about my child, but I'm sure I would be a mess as a parent because you're just not equipped to know what to do. You just don't. You don't know what to do.
Well, and we're here for those families.
Yeah.
So this year's Fund a Need will go to support Fraser families struggling with mental health. And your contributions are crucial, as the biggest barrier to helping more families in our community is financial resources. A month ago, actually, you helped us open our 6th clinic in Eagan. I don't know if you've
Just
heard
a month
about
ago.
that.
So let's hear it. How about that? Who would have thought 80 years ago fantastic.
And what's truly amazing for me is at that clinic, we've already served 200 new families.
In a month?
In a month.
Are you? Wow.
No, I'm serious.
I mean, that's
Isn't it-
astonishing to think about,
Yes.
right? Right. That tells you the need for these services in every nook and cranny of Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. And your financial assistance this evening will help us to add therapeutic toys and technology in day treatment classrooms, add transportation for children and families to access services to Fraser's clinics, add play times for caregivers and children to develop strategies for improving family dynamics with Fraser therapists, and identify and close gaps in services for children. So funds raised this evening will go towards enhancing and expanding services for children and families in our community. So I want you to think about this. As you consider making contribution tonight, I want you to know that Fraser provides more than hope. Hope is a wonderful word. It is. But we provide more than hope. We provide real help for these children and their families.
Diane, thank you so much. Thank you, Diane.